welcome once again to the Mayor's Weekly Press Conference. I've got a big crowd with me today, and I'll get to that later on. I've got pretty much the entire code office down here, Athens City Code Enforcement. Weather, as I usually start off, hey, fall has fallen. It's cold, getting cool, which I enjoy, being a guy who wears a suit all the time. So for me, it's nice. Today, the high was 56 and the low is 38, so it's going to get chilly. I imagine in some of the lower areas, it might even see some frost, although I haven't heard that yet for any frost warnings. Saturday, we're looking at a high of 52 and a low of 39. Going into Sunday, cloudy. The high is going to be 60, low of 53. A little bit warmer at night, but not much. And then into Monday, we're looking at rain, a high of 58, low of 40. 56 is a high for Tuesday and a low of 38. Going into Wednesday, now again, this is a long window, but we're looking at Wednesday, a high of 55, but a low of 34. So welcome to the season. I don't have a whole lot to share today, but do have some updates. And as usual, I'll start with Engineering and Public Works with the East State Street work that's going on. We're still looking at the ramp work and the median work going into next week. The contractor's goal is to begin milling and paving operations on the week of the 22nd. ODOT project manager for the East State Street on-ramp to 3350 is expected to reopen. The on-ramp will be reopening October 18th. As usual, weather dependency is kind of key to this. And with that ramp reopening, we're expecting to really alleviate a lot of the cut-through traffic that we've been monitoring and observing through some of the neighborhoods, in particular Morris and South May. So that project, like I said, ongoing. North Lancaster Street. This is a revision to the North Lancaster between Columbus Road and Columbia Avenue. It will remain closed with no parking through Tuesday, October 16th, so next Tuesday. For the paving, I know that we've received a lot of comments from people living out that way. When are you going to fix the bumpy roads? It's terrible. We got it. We are pulling out a lot of the brick on Columbia, and that will be repaved as well. So that's going to give a lot of relief to a lot of people who had to deal with a rather bumpy section of City Street. Highland Park improvements. It has been going on in Highland Park. A lot of you know that there was a lot of new playground equipment that went in there. There was also rubberized surfaces that went down. We are continually improving ADA accessibility to where we've got the parking lot has been remade to be ADA accessible, as well as the connector being put in front of the parking lot area to complete the rest of the accessibility. So once again, making and trying to continue to make our recreational facilities accessible to everybody. So big improvement in the Highland Street or Highland Park. American Bloom. We've been a member of American Bloom for 2 years, I believe it is now. A little more than 2 years. We just got our 2018 results back. They've changed the metric. Before it was petals. You could get up to 5 petals, and we earned 4 petals last year. The scoring is different. Now it's stars. It's a 10-star system, and the City of Athens, we were bestowed 6 stars. And a lot of that was because we did really well in the community vitality as well as urban forestry sections. As a matter of fact, I was in Logan yesterday for the Mayor's Partnership for Progress. Logan has been a member of the American Bloom for quite some time and has been very successful in that area. And the mayor there told me that we beat them out this year in a couple of categories, and in particular the community vitality and the urban forestry section. So always friendly competition when it comes to beautifying our areas, our cities, municipalities. Other things going on, Arts, Parks, and Rec happenings. The community center Halloween game night is going to be Thursday, October 25th from 7 to 8:30 p.m. Youth futsal registration is still going on for 5th through 9th graders, $35 per child. The season runs from October 30th through December 6th. Let's see, session 2 of tiny tumbling and kids yoga, which will start on the 21st of this month. Registration is going on now. Happenings at Arts West. Let's see, Saturday or Sunday, October 14th from 2 to 6 p.m. is the Southeast Ohio Musical Lending Library opening party. This is featuring membership and scholarship information. The musical entertainment is provided by the Up All Night String Band. Interesting name for a band. Light refreshments will be served, and this is free and open to the public, again, at Arts West. Let's see. I mentioned Halloween. The big Halloween block party, it's always good to get that out there so people know when to steer clear of Court Street on the 27th. It is the 27th this year. Something I would encourage you not to steer clear of, to come uptown to the block party for Honey for the Heart Parade. It starts at 6 p.m. Honey for the Heart Ball will be in Central Avenue from 7 to 9 p.m. on the 27th. But Honey for the Heart Parade is open to everybody. You can go down to Central Venue before 6 p.m., kind of figure out what you'd like to, what you'd like to wear, costume-wise, down there at Central Venue, and then just jump in the lineup for the parade. It's a lot of fun. We see a lot of families coming up and partaking in that. When I do it with my daughters, more and more we see more families with young kids coming up and just enjoying and partaking in the parade. After the parade, I would encourage you to go elsewhere. Anyway, the big block party is coming up on the 27th. Let's see. That's pretty much all I've got for that. And again, I mentioned that the code office is here this month. And I have to give a lot of credit to Rick Sorois, the director for the Code Enforcement Office. He's the one who brought it to my attention, and that attention was that this is National Code Compliance Month. That said, I've got Mike Cooper here with me and Director Rick Sorois. I've got 2 proclamations, and again, I said I've also got pretty much the entire code department here. If all of you would like to come on up and gather around, and I am going to read the proclamation and give one to Mike and one to Rick. But, as they're coming on up, I have to say, the code office and code enforcement and those who work in the area of code, it's vitally important to any community from a safety and code compliance standpoint. The things that I have learned from Director Sorois as well as from Mike Cooper in terms of what sometimes they stumble upon and what code ends up having to basically wade through half the time is that these men and women who are up here with me right now literally kind of go into harm's way a lot of times to make sure that the city is maintaining the highest possible level of safety and livability. And I give a lot of credit to both of you for what you do and for everyone who's standing behind me. You've got my respect, trust me, in terms of what you guys do on a daily basis, which, again, is vitally important. Office of the Mayor, proclamation. Whereas code enforcement officers provide for the safety, health, and welfare of citizens living in communities such as Athens through the enforcement of building, zoning, housing, environmental, property maintenance, and other codes and ordinances. And whereas code enforcement officers are dedicated, well-trained, highly responsible individuals who take their jobs so seriously, I added the so, I know you guys do, are proud of their departments and local governments and are committed to promoting life safety and improving the neighborhood aesthetics in the course of their daily jobs. And whereas the American Association of Code Enforcement, acting on behalf of more than 1,300 members, request that October be set aside to honor and recognize our code enforcement officers as an opportunity to highlight the contributions these individuals have made to the quality of our communities, to celebrate American accomplishments in making collective decisions concerning our cities and regions that bring quality and meaning to our lives, and recognizing the participation and dedication of code enforcement officers who have contributed their time and expertise to the improvement of communities like that here in Athens. And whereas we recognize the many valuable contributions made by the code enforcement officers throughout our county, and extend our heartfelt thanks for their continued commitment to service. Now, therefore, I, Steve Patterson, the mayor of the city of Athens, Ohio, do hereby proclaim October 2018 as National Code Compliance Month in the city of Athens. Thank you.
Mayor.
Thank you. And thank you to everyone standing behind me. Again, I applaud you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
And thanks for being here.
Yep. Thank you.
That
Either way.
that pretty much concludes the mayor's weekly press conference for this week. Again, you know, one more last shout out for the Code Enforcement Office. It's so, you know, the things that you don't even notice until you're out and about, that, you know, we get calls often for, you know, a sign lying down, you know, in the public right of way that should be upright, or a tire, or trash, or whatever. And, you know, by and large, it's the Code Enforcement Office that is sending a vehicle out there, one of the code officers, to go and collect that, to even include an occasional animal carcass, if I'm not mistaken. And talking with George Nowicki, one of the most recent, or maybe it was Michelle Fish, was having to scoop up some nasty skunk that has expired. I guess that was George. But the things that the Code Office does, again, to keep our world running smoothly, to where there's things that we don't even notice that's going on out there. And a big thank you to the Code Office for making that, enhancing our lives on a daily basis. Again, that said, thank you for tuning in, and hopefully you'll tune in again next week for the next installment of the Mayor's Weekly Press Conference. Take care.